What is going on, you guys? It is your boy Matt Talks Films, and I am back with another video, back with another review, and this time it is one of summer's biggest movies. It is Marvel's newest release. It is none other than Fantastic Four: The First Steps. Now, before I get into how I really feel, let me tell you about the plot before I get into how I really feel. Fantastic Four: The First Steps. It is set on Earth 828 during the 1960s. It gives off this beautiful retro feeling, and everything is going well for Fantastic Four, seemingly. All crime is being solved. They're baby proofing everything for the upcoming baby from Sue Storm and Reed Richards. All of a sudden, there is something coming from the sky. It is a message sent by Galactus through Silver Surfer. It is a world ending message warning everyone on Earth 828 that your world will be ending. Ultimately, Fantastic Four and company go to check out. They go to Galactus first, so he doesn't come to them first. And ultimately, they are given an ultimatum. Reed Richards, Sue Storm, you give us your newborn, and your world will survive. We will not eat your world. Now, that is the overall plot of this movie. I will not tell you what happens within that plot for a majority of this video, because this will be a spoiler-free video up until the end, because there are a few things I want to address spoiler-wise. Now, how do I feel about this movie? I should tell you guys how I feel about Marvel as a whole, because this is the first Marvel video I'm doing on this channel. Now, I've grown up with Marvel, not reading comic books. I've loosely read comic books as a young man, as a young boy, but I stopped reading comic books years and years ago, okay? I'm fully movie man. I watch the movies. I watch every movies, whether it's Marvel movies, whether it's different types of movies, I watch Marvel. But Marvel movies are one of the greater experiences in theaters I've had as a young boy. I am now 23, so I've gotten older. And listen, I loved the Marvel Universe growing up, whether it was in my teenage years, whether it was as a kid, but ultimately my love for Marvel has dwindled. Despite my love for Marvel dwindling, I am still supporting every Marvel movie that comes out. Now, I am not watching the shows, because honestly, a lot of the shows that have come out have not looked great. And also, I'm not a big show guy. I'm a big movie guy. I watch movies at home, I watch them at the theaters, but when I'm not watching movies at home or in the theaters, I'm watching sports. So that's where my realm is. I'm a movie guy, I'm a film guy. I'm not really a big show guy unless it's a show that I'm absolutely certain is good and I've been told that's really good from someone. Anyway, my love has dwindled for Marvel since about 2019, since the end of Endgame. Now, did I think Endgame was a satisfying ending and a close to a lot of arcs that have been beautifully built up over years and years and years? Yes. Did I like Endgame? Not really. My favorite MCU movies are Infinity War, Winter Soldier. To me, there hasn't been a great Marvel movie since Infinity War. And honestly, I've been waiting for Marvel to give me a great movie. Now, people are probably saying, oh, what about Guardians of the Galaxy 3? What about Spider-Man No Way Home? What about Thunderbolts? What about Deadpool vs. Wolverine? I'm here to tell you, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a good movie. Spider-Man No Way Home is a fine movie. Deadpool Wolverine is, I don't know what to say about Deadpool Wolverine. It is a fun-ish movie, despite me not really liking it at all, really. So, I've been waiting for Marvel to make me care again. I've been waiting for Marvel to be great again. I've been waiting for a great Marvel movie, and I thought this was it. I thought Fantastic Four: The First Steps. Everything makes sense. Everything is lining up. The actors in this movie are great. Marvel hasn't gotten Fantastic Four right at all in their past. It is time. This is a movie headlined by Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Eben Moss, Joseph Quinn, Ralph Ineson, Julia Gardner, a couple other actors that you know. So I was like, hey, this is it. This is the time Fantastic Four is going to be great. It's going to be done well. And I'm here to tell you, it is barely good. It's barely good. Is it a terrible movie? No. Is it better than Thunderbolts? Barely. It might even be on the same level as Thunderbolts. And as you guys might have seen on my letterbox, I think Thunderbolts is a 2.5 out of 5. Oh, I'm getting my letterbox review of this movie out the way because I want to have an onslaught of opinions and thoughts told to you guys. I gave Thunderbolts 2.5 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Thought it was a fine movie, okay? I had some big issues with it. I gave Fantastic Four, as of last night, and as I slept on it, a 3 out of 5. And I think that might be a little too high. So, this is a movie that, in my opinion, might deteriorate over time the more I think about it. And by the end of this video, I might even give it a 2.5 out of 5. Because honestly, it's not a movie I want to rewatch again. And honestly, I don't think I'll ever revisit it. So, what did I like about this movie? It's very few and far in between. But let me tell you, I liked Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm. He added a little bit of himself to this performance, and I liked it. Joseph Quinn has shown he's a very good actor, whether it's in flawed stuff, whether it's in good movies. He's very great in Warfare, a movie I recommend a lot. It's one of the best movies of the year. He's very good in Quiet Place, Day One. He was even very good in Stranger Things, which is a flawed show. What else did I like about this movie? I like the mini documentary / montage shown on the talk show, where we're shown the quote-unquote origin story of Fantastic Four through the 4 years they have been a thing. And I really like that. We're shown really good moments, and honestly, I was feeling good through those first 20 minutes. I was like, hey, this feels good. I like what I'm seeing. I like this. I like the first 20 minutes of this movie. I also like Julia Gardner as Silver Surfer. I thought she was really good. She's a great actress, as she's proven. She's another part I like about this movie. I like Ralph Ineson as Galactus, even though I'm not a huge fan of Galactus. And was I terrified of Galactus? No. Another thing I liked in this movie was the final action sequence between Galactus and the Fantastic Four. Despite it being flawed CGI-wise, I did really like it, and I had fun. Another thing I liked during this movie was the score. I thought the score was great. I thought it was overpowering and brilliant. I really liked the score. That's where my likeness for this movie stops. Johnny Storm, Julia Gardner, Ralph Ineson, the score, and the final action sequence, and the opening montage. That is about 6 things I like in this movie. This movie is an hour and 55 minutes. So, what did I not like about this movie, and what am I frustrated by? I just want to get into this one thing quick. Before going to this movie, one of the most certified things I felt about this movie was Pedro Pascal, one of the very great actors we have within the film industry. And he's leading a Marvel movie. He is the lead of Fantastic Four. He is Reed Richards. And I'm here to tell you, so sadly, that Pedro Pascal might be the worst thing about this fucking movie. Besides the terrible CGI, which I will get into at certain points in this movie. Pedro Pascal, what the I am bewildered by the performance he gives in this movie. And I think it's partially due to the movie he's in. A lot of this film is directed and filmed with a green screen behind the actors. And I think that's why his performance feels so lackluster. And it infuriates me because I've seen Pedro Pascal be great. I've seen him be in the best film all year in Eddington. But he is downright bad in this movie. And it's really quite evident. I think even for the people who like this movie or even love this movie, they can even admit that Pedro Pascal is not good in this movie. And that frustrates me. Another thing. Miscasting. Not only do I think Pedro Pascal is miscast as Reed Richards, but Vanessa Kirby is fine in this movie. Sue Storm and Reed Richards have no chemistry. I hate to break it to you guys. They have no chemistry, and that's the biggest point of this movie. This movie relies on the chemistry between Sue Storm and Reed Richards, and there is no chemistry there. There's no chemistry, honestly, amongst the core four. There's no chemistry amongst the core four, and that is frustrating because this is a movie about a group, a lovable group that you should love and you should care about, but this movie fails to elicit care and love amongst the core characters in this movie. It's just flat out the truth. It's just flat out the truth, okay? It's just the truth. Pedro Pascal is bad in this movie. Vanessa Kirby's performance feels sanded down, and ultimately they have no chemistry. If the performances were bad and they still had chemistry, I can overlook the performances. But the performances are bad, lackluster, and there's no chemistry. So that sucks. I think Eben Moss is the thing. Listen, he's like not given much here. Okay, I'm not familiar with Evan Moss. I don't watch The Bear, but was he endearing as the Thing? Not really to me. And I know people were like awing and like, "Oh, the Thing" in the movie. I wasn't. I wasn't moved. Maybe I'm losing the sensibility of fun. Maybe that's it. Maybe this is a me thing. I'm failing to have fun with this movie, but I also think this movie is failing to have fun with me. Another bad thing in this movie, the lack of entertainment. Superman, I hate to compare. Superman, great movie. One of my favorite movies of the year. Has its flaws, but it's a great movie. You know why it's a great movie? Because it thoroughly entertains you through the 2 hour and 9 minutes that it is on your big screen. Now, this movie is shorter than Fantastic Four. I think it's an hour and 55, hour 50, and it's just not fun. It's not fun enough. The times I had fun were the first montage, and the times I had somewhat fun was the ending of this movie. That's it. That is it. People are being blinded by the ending of this movie. Then the end action sequence is good, despite its flaws. And then the post-credit scene, another problem. Alright, we're getting to spoilers, fuck it. We're getting to spoilers. If you're going to stop watching this video here, it's a 3 out of 5 on Letterboxd. It's like a 60 out of 100, maybe even a 65. It barely passes the test if I'm doing it on a grading system. And I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's just barely good. Anyway, spoilers. We are 12 minutes through the video. I think we're about time to talk about spoilers. The post-credit scene, man. The fucking post-credit scene that has gotten roarous claps after. It is a post-credit scene that after Fantastic Four does what it does to succeed at the end of this movie. We are shown a post-credit scene between Sue Storm and Reed Richards' baby 4 years after the events of this movie. And Sue Storm gets up, she walks back to her kid, and who's there sitting next to her kid? None other than Dr. Doom, played by Robert Downey Jr. And you know why they don't show Robert Downey Jr.'s face in this movie? Because Robert Downey Jr. is not acting as Dr. Doom in that moment. I'll tell you that for certain, okay? It's just not. And that kind of pisses me off, right? Because it's super fan servicey, but ultimately there is no fulfillment and no payoff with that showing to me. How am I supposed to care about Dr. Doom? How am I supposed to care about Dr. Doom right now? How am I? You guys made me not care about Fantastic Four. This movie was barely entertaining. It was honestly teetering the line of boring. And then you throw this fucking fan servicey moment of Dr. Doom and Reed Richards and Sue Storm's son, and I'm supposed to be yay clapping like everyone else in the theater. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, people love that. I fucking hated it. I hated it. How is someone who's not chronically online or not in tune with the comic books supposed to react to that moment? Like, the thing that was so great about the Marvel movies in the past, or quote unquote great thing about the Marvel movies in the past, was they built up everything perfectly. Even if you didn't know the comic books, they showed you what those characters were and who they were going to become, and even the villains. Sometimes those movies had faceless villains and villains that were just going to die, but when they built up the greater villains like Thanos and company, they did a great job and excelled at that. So when we're introduced to Doctor Doom for the first time, it's through a post-credit scene, and it just feels so forced and rushed compared to the past Marvel movies, especially the past great Marvel movies. And that was my problem. It was like, this movie wasn't good, it was entertaining, but the ending of this movie was good despite its flaws, and the post-credit scene was exciting to people. And I think people are blinded by those two things, and they forget the rest of the movie they just watched. So that kind of pisses me off. And then Galactus is what's Galactus's main? What's going on with Galactus here? Fantastic Four defeats him. They send him into a black hole that is going to take a while for Galactus to get out of, I assume, right? What is Galactus's? What happens here with Galactus? Is he going to be a part of Avengers Doomsday? I'm not familiar with comic books, so maybe he is. But what the fuck? Is he just a throwaway character now? I don't know what's going on. And then when Galactus gets thrown into this black hole and the Fantastic Four defeat Galactus, right? there's still this World Eater spaceship in the sky. What happens to that ship? How do they get rid of that ship? It's not addressed. They don't talk about Galactus anymore or that ship after they send him away and quote unquote defeat him, right? That's another problem. The whole villain part of this movie feels rushed and doesn't feel like a huge fulfillment to me, and there's not a great payoff for me because ultimately this movie refuses to make you care about Fantastic Four, and it refuses to make you fear Galactus, which has been this towering villain I've been hearing about for years, and it fails to make you care or fails to make you fear. Another thing in this movie, where actually I thought the movie might have gotten interesting. Obviously, I knew they weren't going to do it because no one dies in Marvel, but Sue Storm dies at the end of this movie. Not officially, because obviously she was brought back by her son. But for a moment there, I was like, hey, are they going to kill off Sue Storm? Now this is subverting my expectations. Now I'm not seeing things I've seen before. Are they going to add some Infinity War attributes to this movie? Are they going to kill Sue Storm? That would be bold. That'd be ambitious. But obviously they won't do it. So her son brings back Sue Storm. And to me, that was a little ridiculous. And honestly, I was not moved by it. I was not sitting there like, oh my God, Sue Storm's going to die. Because ultimately I know that baby is an otherworldly being and it can do things that no one else in this universe can. And I knew that she was going to get brought back to life. And honestly, I was alarmed by the amount of people in the movie theater who were like, oh, no way, the baby brought her back. I'm like, how many movies do you guys see? How many movies do you guys see a year? And how many Marvel movies have you seen before to know that people don't die? People don't die in this universe except for Uncle Ben and a couple other characters. But what the fuck, dude? That pissed me off. And the CGI in this movie is very bad in spots. My God, the CGI is very bad in spots. Particularly whenever the thing is holding the baby. It's so bad. Sometimes they choose to add a real baby in this movie, sometimes they don't. But when they do the CGI baby, it is not only noticeable, but it's very bad. And it honestly frustrated me seeing it. Like, I'm not a special effects guy, clearly, or my YouTube videos would be better. I'm not familiar with that category of filmmaking. It was just so bad. For a movie of this budget, the CGI baby was horrible. I mean, it was up there with Twilight and American Sniper. That bad. Another thing I didn't like about this movie, they show every great thing in the trailer. That's what is my point here. Like I said, what I liked about this movie, the beginning montage and the end action sequence. Guess what? If you don't want to go see this movie, you can watch the fucking movie in the trailer because it's all in the trailer. And that's what I hate. That's another thing. The trailers for movies almost ruin the movies nowadays, and that frustrates me. So it's like all the cool things in this movie are in the trailer. You see them in the trailer, and you're like, hey, I've seen this before. Yeah, because it's been in the fucking trailer, and that pisses me off. It really did. Because the opening montage is so cool. There's a scene in this movie where it's the end action sequence. Galactus punches, which is actually pretty sick, punches the thing into the sky. Johnny Storm chases him down and brings him back. Johnny Storm is flying on the thing's back, bringing them back down to Galactus. And Johnny Storm says, what time is it? I'm not saying it, Johnny. What time is it? I'm not saying it, Johnny. What time is it? It's clobbering time. Guess what you saw in the trailer? So it removes any joy that scene would give you prior. It just removes because you've seen it in the fucking trailer. What I didn't like about this movie, I just stated, but in case you need a quick summary, Pedro Pascal's acting is not good. Miscasting. The CGI is very bad in spots. The payoff in this movie doesn't leave me fulfilled. Galactus isn't that frightening and terrifying to me. It feels rushed. It abruptly ends, which I didn't really note to you guys. This movie abruptly ends. And I didn't want more from the movie, but like the ending of this movie is so abrupt and just so weird. It really feels like a movie that had a lot left on the cutting room floor. And that rubs me the wrong way. So, yeah, Fantastic Four, the first steps. I got into a little bit of the spoilers. Galactus is defeated. Silver Surfer is the one that sends Galactus into the black hole. And we don't see him until God knows when. I hated the Doctor Doom appearance at the end of the post-credits. Yeah, man, this was a frustrating time. As someone who loved Marvel and cared about this universe so deeply because they took so much care with the franchises, took so much care for the universe, and ultimately had very satisfying payoffs and very satisfying character arcs and very satisfying characterizations, that is something unrecognizable to the new Marvel era. Am I supposed to give a shit about Shang-Chi? Am I supposed to give a shit about Anthony Mackie as Captain America? Did you not see Captain America: New Brave World? Did you not see that movie? Am I supposed to care about Fantastic Four after one movie? There was so much time built up on making you care about these characters during the prime of Marvel, and that is non-existent now. They're just forcing this era upon us without having the same sense of care. And you know what? They're still going to make a lot of money because guess what? People are blinded loyally to the Marvel, to the franchises, to the universe because of all the feelings the past franchises and the past movies have given you. And honestly, I'm a part of that group. I am now a person that doesn't enjoy Marvel movies, and I am not a fan of where this franchise and where this universe is going. But I am going to go see the movies because, hey, I love how those old movies used to make me feel. So I am now forever going to go see these movies in theaters because I want to feel the feelings that I once had with these movies before. So this is why I am so angry and rubbed the wrong way, is because there is potential within this movie, but the potential isn't executed right. It is rushed, and this everything after Endgame feels rushed, and they just expect the same result they had with Infinity War and Endgame. Guess what? You're gonna make a lot of money, but you're not gonna make the fans feel the same way because it's just not gonna happen that way. That was a magical moment due to years and years of work and making the audience care, and that is not the same thing that's happening here. Fantastic Four is supposed to be the main core of the Avengers and Avengers Doomsday. And do you care about Fantastic Four? Do you care about the characters within that universe? Ask yourself right now as you're watching me, big bearded man, asking you this. Do you care about Fantastic Four after watching Fantastic Four? Are you excited about Avengers Doomsday? Are you excited about Shang-Chi and Anthony Mackie as Captain America after that fucking shit show of a movie? Are you excited about Thunderbolts? Legitimately. Are you going to care if any of those characters die? I feel like I've covered a lot here. Okay? Maybe I was a little bit all over the place, but I feel like I covered a lot here. It is your boy Matt Talks Films. Fantastic Four, the first steps, it's meh. If I had to describe this movie in one word, it is meh. It's the epitome of meh. It is just bland, barely good, honestly messy garbage. And I gave this movie a 3 out of 5 to start the video. I'm going to leave it there, okay? Despite me not liking this film and not ever revisiting it, there are some things I like about this movie. The retroness feeling, Johnny Storm, Silver Surfer, the end action sequence and the beginning montage, and the score. So those things are saving this movie from completely being reviewed horribly by me. Fantastic Four, First Steps, is Marvel back? The answer to me is no. It will never be back unless I see a sense of care that was once thrusted upon this universe in the past. It is your boy Matt Talks Films. Fantastic Four, First Steps, 3 out of 5, 60 out of 100 for me. Marvel isn't back, and God, I wish I loved this as much as everyone else did. Quick rant before I go, actually. One of the biggest problems about this movie is the people lying to themselves, and I'm not saying you can't have your own opinions here, but before this movie and after this movie, I'm seeing people saying, this movie is God tier. It's one of the greatest things Marvel has ever done. There's never been a great movie like this in Marvel history. What? Are you fucking kidding? Now, it's one thing of liking and loving a movie, but to go to those grave and certain extents is absurd to me. Did you watch Fantastic Four? You're saying it's godlike, God tier? That is absurdity in its highest form. No way this movie is great. No way is this movie amongst the great Marvel movies within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. That is insulting to me. As someone who's been watching the movie since I was 7, this movie is nowhere close to the great movies in the Marvel Universe. And for people to say it's God tier and godlike and infinitely better than Superman, I say you need to open your eyes and you need to be truthful. Because if this is great, then Marvel and whoever are making these movies, the Russo brothers, they will continue to give you this lethargic and lackluster messes because you guys are not being honest. And it's one thing to love a universe, to love a franchise, and to love these stories, but if you love these stories truly like you guys say you do, then you have to be honest, because I love these stories. I love these franchises. I wanted a great Fantastic Four, but I'm being honest. This is not a good movie. This is a close to God tier. It's not one of the best movies of the year. It's not a great movie. It's barely a good one. So just fucking be honest with yourselves. And maybe Marvel and whoever the fuck is running Marvel at this point will change the quality of these movies, because goddamn it, it needs to happen. We are now 6 years removed from Avengers Endgame, and we are now close to 10 years removed since Infinity War, and Marvel hasn't had a great movie in 10 years. It's your boy Matt Talks Films. Follow me everywhere at Matt Talks Films. Subscribe, like, comment if you agree or disagree with me. I'll see you guys soon. I'll catch you guys on the flip side.